And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we will stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And with that phrase, we began, and today we're currently featuring over 1,500 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receiver side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of the selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together today for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations, QSA 5, to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has changed us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking in to our QSO-VLOG net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, and now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Charlie, got a copy?
Zona Sierra Foxtrot, PQDX. Not as strong as last week, but very, very Q5. This beautiful day, it's up around 40, 42 degrees. Yesterday we hit 54 degrees, and that melted probably about a quarter or a third of our real deep snow pack, which is now running from about 18 inches to about 34 inches on the level ground. So I wonder how you're copying, and I do have Captain Mike on the tape here. I reported this morning as he headed east from Sacramento to Philadelphia there at 37,000 feet, and I'm just wondering.
QDX.
And I'm just wondering if you're probably copying me on Milford. Go ahead.
Charlie, actually not. I'm down in Georgia. I'm down in Georgia this afternoon. You're doing about 15 over down there, so we are monitoring Georgia SDR. Roger.
We are monitoring Georgia SDR. Roger.
Oh, that's amazing. That's remarkable. Okay, I don't favor Atlanta, or North Georgia as well. But anyway, if the band's open down there, great. Here's Captain Mike recorded this morning, of course, on the 12th of March, 2021, and here he is.
Sacramento, but we're currently right over central Nebraska, flight level 370, with a 130 knots quartering tailwind. So we're doing about 565 knots. We're moving into the we're showing about 1,100 miles to go to Philadelphia, and the tempo here is 60 Celsius there. After the hour, so at 10 till I'll be standing by here listening for you there, and I'll say 73 guys in the group, and I'll Tim, I'll hear me. I'll text you what's happening.
Okay, right.
There's 4 Whiskey Charlie at 37,000 here. We're just passing north of Tuscaloosa, Iowa. That's showing 591 knots across the ground, and ETA into Philadelphia is 1840 with 845 miles to go, and our tempo here is minus 60 here. So there you have it, Charlie. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie. There, and maybe right over the city there, very close to the southern boundary there of Chicago. As you know, Chicago.
Yeah, and there he was in KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. That was your pilot buddy, and I'm glad to see he's back working again. He was absent for a while. Was he on vacation, or what was the deal there?
Absent for a while. Was he on vacation, or what was the deal there?
Was off for some kind of a maintenance or whatever, but he's going to be flying out He's going to be flying out tomorrow evening. We're going to try to pick him up on 20 meters. Then he is off. He's going to have to spend 1 week in Miami, Florida. Every 6 months, they do have to go through, updates on equipment and everything else. So he will be in Miami, Florida after tomorrow night's flight out to Sacramento, and then probably a week off at home, and then in about 2 weeks he'll be back. He'll be back in operation. So he moves around. That very same plane, after he gets out to Sacramento, California, he's going to be flying. It will be flying down to Miami, Florida, and he's going down there anyway for, we might say, more instruction, the 6-month normal instruction, and he's going down in the same plane as a passenger, not either the pilot or a co-pilot. Usually he's the pilot, and he'll be riding, so to speak, the rumble seat, as that same plane goes down to Miami, K1CZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, Miami, Florida. Must be nice. My hometown, is West Palm, but it's been a long time since I've been there. Hopefully be able to get back to that visit on your hometown. It's nice to do that from time to time. Roger.
Roger. That's interesting. Very interesting. Wow. And by the way, we have a terrific Arctic cold front coming through here. So 2 or 3 fronts, one later tonight. That's going to kick off snow showers and squalls. That should produce at least 2 inches or more of snow. And then on Sunday, another one, and a sharp one, will come through probably late in the day. That itself will produce 2 or 3 more inches. So we'll try to start slowly building up some of the snow we lost. And then on Monday, we're going to have very, very strong winds. And if we're lucky, we'll be up to 10 degrees above. 10 degrees above zero. And I'm hoping we power outages. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger, do you have power outage problems when it snows or ices?
Once in a while, but we had that bad one I told you about. We had that very, very bad one back a couple of, about 2.5 weeks or so ago. I forget the exact date. And we were without power for 8.5 hours. The temperature dropped to 10 below zero with winds blowing between 40 and 60 miles per hour. And that gave a chill factor of 40 to 60 degrees below zero. The temperature in here in the 8.5 hours dropped to 41, and I stayed in bed with a lot of blankets on me, and boy, that was a close one on losing the water permanently. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. I just wonder what it's like to be a lineman and have to climb a power pole with a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
40-mile-an-hour wind. Oh, yeah, that's rough. I'll tell you, that's extremely rough. I have to take my hat off to those linemen that have to go through all of that because, on that particular night, there were a tremendous amount of people all over the state. There wasn't that much snow with it, but the wind and the severe cold knocked most people out of power. I would say probably 2 or 3 without power. It was numbing.
Roger. Well, like I say, I normally wind up saying, I'm glad you're up there, and I'm here, Roger.
I'm here, Roger. Yeah, I can understand, Jim. Look, I'll let you go, and I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. I mean, next week at 3:30. Of course, you got to realize we'll be on daylight time, and the skip might be a little bit shorter. And I only have one more pickup with Captain Mike, and that's tomorrow evening. And then I won't be able to work him again for close to 2 weeks. After being a week in Miami and then a week home and then back in the air. So he's been flying for this particular company that he's working for 31 years. 31 years. So, wow. I've got to take my hat off to him, and it's incredible. It's incredible the contacts we have. Just like he's sitting in the room. And in the past, in the last month or so, we've had some when he was way out west on 75 meters. And you know, a half wave on 75 is 120 feet or more. And here he is with this 10-foot piece of wire and Q5 coming out of Wyoming and Nevada. That blows my mind. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger, Charlie. But again, he does have the height advantage, for sure. Well, Charlie 73 up that way, sir. Thanks for checking in with us, as always, and we'll see you next Friday. Roger, Roger.
See you next Friday. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. We'll catch you next Friday, and let's hope we're all healthy, well, and I know down your way there's been a lot of rain at times, and I hope you don't get too much of it. K1GZL, we are clear. Thanks an awful lot for a good one, as usual, Tim.
Roger, Roger, Charlie. 73. This is KC9VKV. A reminder, my name is Jim. I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search plus today's date, 3/12/21, and it'll take you directly to this recording. Now, if you'd just like to check out some recordings, if you just do a YouTube search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and on that page you'll find about 1,500 some odd recorded QSO-VLOGs for your perusal. So this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out. Give me a shout.
It was an Echo 2X, is that a Roger?
Hotel Echo Quebec.
One more time, slowly, phonetically, please, sir.
There is Victor Echo 3, Hotel Echo Quebec.
Roger, Roger. I have Victor Echo 3, Hotel Echo Quebec. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, that's a Roger, yeah.
Yes, sir. And what's the name there, please?
The name here is 5. That's Charlie Lima India Victor Echo. Is Woodstock, Ontario. And we're running about a 42 feet Fahrenheit. And running my antenna is 40 feet was vertical.
Okay, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Radio is a Kenwood 130.
Kenwood 130, Roger, Roger. Well, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it all starts with engaging your compressor at a 3, Roger, Roger.
Zulu Sierra Foxtrot, Italy Zulu.
So I'm getting a lot of QR. Come back with the name one more time. Let me get the name one more time, please. That's a Victor Echo 3, Henry Echo Quebec station. What is the name, please, again? not copying Victor Echo 3, Henry Echo Quebec. This is KC9VKV. If you have a copy, come back with your name.
The DX outside Europe, looking for DX. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. You've kind of slipped down underneath my noise level there for a little bit. We'll try it one more time and see what Mother Nature has in store. A lot of times she'll come back and we'll be able to have a QSO, sometimes not. But come back one more time. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you give me about 10 seconds or so on your antenna, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better path. Roger?
Okay.
Sierra Foxtrot, CQ40, CQDX, outside Europe, please. Italy.
I'm sorry, Victor Echo 3, Henry Echo Quebec, you are now below my noise level, so let me say 3s, and maybe, things will improve in the next little bit, and you'll be able to have a better signal to me. So I'll say 73 for right now, and we'll catch you in a little bit, hopefully. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout. Zulu, Sierra.
Station coming back, try it one more time, please.
Station coming back, try it one more time, please.
Whiskey 4, Lima Sierra. Roger, Roger.
Whiskey 4, Lima Sierra. Roger, Roger.
And what is the name there?
Wendy, Whiskey Echo, November, Delta Yankee.
Roger, Wendy, and what's your location?
Roger, Wendy, and what's your location?
Wendy, I believe you said you were in Florida. Is that a Roger? Okay, and what radio are you running today, Wendy?
Well, you won't believe this, but I'm running a Kenwood TS-2000. The guy was going to throw it in the garbage. So I said, no, don't do that. Let me have it.
Now, why would he be wanting to throw a TS-2000 in the garbage?
Well, he's not a ham. He doesn't know anything about him. His son jumped up his house and left. And he was just trying to clean it up from John.
Delta Fox, you're a...
Roger. Wendy, well, I'm glad you did him a favor so he didn't have to go through all the effort of throwing that radio in the trash. Now, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, I don't have the greatest copy on you. I do have some folks working DX, or trying to work DX, but whatever, but I can give you some notes if you would like to take those, Roger. All right, Wendy, our setup procedure is very generic in nature, and it starts with your compressor. Engage your compressor, and at a 3. You turn that compressor on, but only at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does just exactly what it should do. So the first step is to engage your compressor at a 3. Now, do you know that radio fairly well?
Check out the compressor, and at this time the compressor is set at about a 4.
Roger. So why don't you pull that down to a 3? Can you do that? Bring that compressor back to a 3.
me pull that down right now.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. Right now we're talking to Wendy down in Florida, WW4LS.
Okay, I bumped it down to a 3.
All right, so then we move to our ALC. Move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And what you want to do while you're speaking fairly quickly, 100, 200, 300, 400, so you can bring that meter up and see where it's going. I want you to adjust that meter as you speak to running mid-scale to 2/3. And you do that by your mic gain control. Mid-scale to 2/3, adjustment by mic gain control.
Adjusting the mic gain control now, and it's about mid-scale to 2/3 at this time.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I could say if you knew where to go to for your equalization, do you know where the equalization is on that radio?
Equalization on this radio yet.
Alrighty, let me give you a note to self. When you find out about how to work on your equalization, you want to go +2 clicks hotter treble EQ. I'm assuming that radio has a 3-band EQ. And if so, you go to your treble EQ and adjust it for +2 clicks hotter than where it is. Roger? Yes, ma'am. And that should put you in pretty good shape. I don't have the best copy on you. Like I say, I do have a bunch of folks trying to work DX. So it's going to be an interesting afternoon, I guess. But anyway, you've got the basics there. Hopefully you'll be able to check in with us next Friday, and we'll be able to see what you sound like with that increased top-end EQ. Roger?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Roger, Wendy. And if you would like to hear your recording, although it's not the best because of conditions, if you go to YouTube and call it a search for KC9VKV, that will take you, plus the date. It's a YouTube search for KC9VKV plus the date 3/12/21. That will take you to this recording, and you can hear your radio. Like I say, it's not the best recording because of conditions and DXing and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, you'll be able to hear it. Roger?
Okay, well, I thank you very much.
Roger, Wendy. And again, what part of Florida are you in down there? Is that Central Florida? Sorry, Wendy, I have lost you, so let me say 73 there. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and thanks for checking in. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. My name is Jim, and this is our Friday afternoon show. If you do have a radio that you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Victor.
Station just calling. Come back, try one more time.
No.
Victor Alpha 3, Victor Mike Delta, Vito in Toronto, Canada.
Vito, what's going on, sir?
Well, I thought I'd keep you company, Jim. Don't know what's going on with the bands today. I was putting a CQ call out, a few KC up from you, and nothing. But as usual, you got a great signal coming into my station. Salutations, Jim. Hope all is well.
Yes, sir, and you're hitting me direct at about a 15 or 20 over. When you get down in that area, I can't really tell too well. I'm not actually looking at my S meter. I'm looking at my VU meter. Your audio is tied to the output of my receiver. Your voice has been peaked for 0 level, and when you cease speaking, what's left is noise. And as near as I can tell, that noise level is down there somewhere around minus 15, but, you know, ballpark, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, Jim. Very good. Well, I hope everything's good with you, my good friend there. Hope all is well. Things are doing pretty good up here in Toronto, or just northeast of Toronto and Unionville, and nothing to report. I just thought I heard that great voice of yours and just wanted to jump in and say good afternoon.
Roger. Well, you are all the way across my spectrum analyzer. What's the meaning of that, all the way across?
Hey, listen, are you trying to pump my tires?
Just a great signal. A beautiful curve.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. You know what? I picked up this little ACOM 1010 about a year and a half ago, and I learned through my time in the hobby, Jim, to, research, and buy once. Or at least try to buy once, anyways. We know that's not always possible, but very, very happy with my purchase and, the 7300, and, I keep wanting to pull the trigger on something else, and I really don't have a need for it right now. Maybe I will down the road, but I'm very happy, Jim.
Oh, Roger, and you should be. That radio is just beautiful as far as, the audio bandpass in transmit. I have no idea what it is in receive because I'm not familiar with it, but in transmit it's just beautiful, Roger.
Yeah, very good, Jim. Yeah, no, it's a great radio, and like I said, I've been looking at some other stuff to maybe pull the trigger, but I'm just going to stand pat for now. I'm enjoying my setup. I really don't do anything to tweak anything anymore. It's kind of in the sweet spot, and I got it locked down with Gorilla Tape and glue and all that other stuff. So I really don't try to touch it too much. If I'm doing some DX, I'll throw the transmit bandwidth into mid mode just to get a little bit more punchiness out of it. But other than that, I kind of like the sound I got set up for rag chew and whatnot, and we just kind of leave it at that. Jim, go ahead.
Oh, Roger. Now, I'm not sure exactly what monitoring system you have, but, I'm always espousing to try to get that audio out of the radio, that little box, and get it to a larger speaker system that maybe can reproduce 100 cycles, Like if you can transmit 100 cycles, it would be nice to be able to hear it, and you probably wouldn't be hearing 100 cycles on the interior speaker for that radio. But, I don't know if you guys have Walmarts up there, but around here, gosh, you can go down to Walmart, and for $40, you can pick up a LabTech 2.1 system. It's 2 satellites with a subwoofer, and that's take you right down to 100 cycles. Plug that thing in, and man, you'll be really surprised at what's actually going on in the realms of radio, Roger.
Well, you know what, Jim? I actually have a Bose SoundLink 2 connected to this, directly to the phone's jack on the front of the radio. And that little Bose speaker, let me tell you, boy, it makes a world of difference compared to... I don't think I've ever used the internal speaker on the 7300. I've got this really nice, small SoundLink Bose propped up right on top of my antenna switch. If you take a look at my QRZ page, obviously VA3 VMD, you'll see it, Jim. It's quite a small box, but the sound it can produce is phenomenal, and I can hear some beautiful quality audio out of that Bose. Over.
Roger, yes. It's just an advancement in the state of the art to get that audio out of the radio and get it into a decent monitoring system. Once you do that, you'll never go back because you know what it really sounds like. Listen, Vito, let me say 73 up that way, sir. Always a pleasure. Roger?
Jim, you know what? I always listen to you all the time, and sometimes I trip across you, and sometimes I plan to jump in. And a lot of times I'll just be lying on the couch late at night, and I'll be skipping through a bunch of your videos, and it's always a pleasure, man. Keep up doing what you're doing. You're a great prodigy to the hobby, Jim. So keep up the good work. Always great to hear you, and I love your rants on the QRMers. Sometimes I sit back and I let my wife listen to it. Sometimes we have a chuckle, and sometimes we just sit back and relax. 73, Jim. God bless. VA3 VMD.
Roger, Vito. 73 up that way, sir. Thanks for checking by. This is KC9VKV. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Dr. VKV.
I heard that November 3 station come back with the call sign again.
Radio Foxtrot question mark. Radio call sign again. Germany. Japan Hotel 1 station only. Go ahead.
B3 station. I've got DX, I think, on my Milford PA. But anyway, come back and let me find a better path. Why don't you tell me about 10 seconds worth of your antenna system, and I'll look around for a better path.
Of your antenna system, and I'll look around for a better path.
Repeat your suffix. He's pretty loud. This is November 2, Quebec, India, Lima. My name is Kenny. I've talked to you before, Doc. I just, I've upgraded my radio, and I wondered if it sounded good, so...
Roger, Denny. Well, I got you down in my Georgia SDR. I'm copying the mail on you down in my Georgia SDR. And come back one more time with your call sign slowly, phonetically, now that I can hear you.
Radio Fox question mark. This is November 2, Quebec, India, Lima. You're covering up a local radio celebrity here. It's a net we have every week, I guess. I guess you call it a net. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but how you doing, Doc?
Yes, sir, Denny. Yes, sir. Where are you? What's your location, Denny?
I'm in upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Roger. Well, you're in the den of the QRM up there. Most of the QRM is coming from up north, as far as I can copy. What radio are you running, Denny?
7300. I got it all peaked out, you know. Usually it's pretty good. I just got a lot of skip in here. This guy is covering up.
Oh, Roger. Well, you know, I've been covered up before. And then I wake up and hit myself in the face and say, what's going on here? But anyway, Denny, thanks for dropping by, buddy. You are sounding good. I did have your copy clear for the moment, about 5 seconds. And I could see your dynamic range was about 3 dB, exactly where it needs to be. Along with your EQ curve is very nice also. So let me say 73 up that way. Good job, Roger.
I can hear you in between his words. So have a good one, Doc. I just wanted to stop and say hi. November 2, Quebec, India, Lima.
Roger, Denny. 73. Have a good day. I gotta get over the DX. Sounding more like Count Dracula, I think. Anyway, this is Jim and the QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. I heard somebody, a BIC, I believe. Come back again slowly, phonetically, with the call sign.
Very good afternoon, Jim. This is N2BIC, November 2, Bravo, India, Charlie, Jim in Akron, New York.
Roger, Jim in Akron, New York. And what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm using a Kenwood TS430S with the hand mic.
Roger that, and if you would be interested in our setup procedure, it all starts with a compressor engaged at a 3. Engage your compressor at a 3 if you'd be interested in beginning a setup procedure.
I'm not quite sure how to get to the compressor, Jim.
Yes, sir. Okay, let me give you some notes that you can consult when you after you consult with your book to find out how to get to various places. What I suggest is make yourself a cheat sheet. Open that book and find probably 10 different things that you will need to know how to get to. Like, number 1, your compressor. Number 2 would be your ALC meter. Number 3 would be your transmit equalization. And the other thing, of course, obviously would be your mic gain control. So let me just give you the layout and you can take some notes and then be able to work on your radio at your leisure. Like I say, the first part of our setup procedure starts with the compressor being engaged at a 3. Once you have your compressor engaged at a 3, you move to your ALC meter, and with mic gain in hand and speaking rather quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can get that meter up to see how to adjust it, you will adjust the mic gain control to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. So adjust your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3 operation by way of your mic gain control. Roger?
Roger.
All right, and then once you do that, probably I would suggest maybe going to your equalization and cranking in a couple of clicks hotter top-end EQ. +2 EQ from a boost from where you are on your treble control. Treble boost +2 from where you are. Roger?
Roger. +2 on equalization from where I'm at.
Yes, sir. And I think that'll put you in good stead. You can check with me next Friday, and we'll compare notes if you have a chance. Roger?
Roger, Roger.
And FYI, I'm copying you now at about 7 dB over my noise level on my local antenna. So you're doing a nice signal under the circumstances. Roger?
Roger, doing +5 over S9 here in Akron. I've got a inverted V up, speed point is about 16 feet above the ground, and it's oriented so that one leg is pretty close to northeast, and the other leg is about south. It's pretty much southeast.
Roger, Jim. And you did say Akron, New York. That was a Roger?
That's correct, yeah. And that gives me a little bit of something. It's just an interesting location, but I got a hill of about 100 feet of elevation immediately to my east. So it's different things of propagation.
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
Okay.
So, Jim, let me say 373 up that way, sir. And if you want to hear your recording, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 3/12/21, that will take you to our QSO that we're currently having. It will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Roger.
Here at YouTube,
I'll do that and take a look at the YouTube recording.
Roger, Roger, Jim. 73 up that way, sir. Have a great afternoon. Beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net for Friday afternoon. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
India Zulu, Sierra Foxtrot, Sequencia.
Kilo 5, Zulu Bravo.
Zulu Bravo, this is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net.
And how are you this fine afternoon, sir?
I'm doing fine. Now come back again one more time with your call sign, please, sir, slowly, phonetically.
Kilo 5, Zulu Bravo. I'm Robert in Central Arkansas, and actually I just thought I'd say hello.
Roger, Robert, well, glad to have you, sir. Gosh, I guess, one more time with your location.
I'm in Central Arkansas, in Hattieville, Arkansas.
Roger, Arkansas. Gosh, normally we're going east. I guess that is kind of west and south, Roger.
That's correct. I guess it could be east if you went all the way around the world and came back from the other side, it'd be east.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's what I would do. I mean, nothing's easy for me. I'll just go around the other way. Matter of fact, I should be hearing myself in a slight delay coming back the other way.
From what I've read, that it actually happens. Where during the good years when we had actual propagation, it bounced its way around the earth. You could hear yourself talk.
Roger. Now, what radio are you running today, Robert?
I have a new 1200.
Let's see. We have someone that has just an unbiding need to tune up on an active frequency. It's just something that they can't contain themselves. They've got to tune up on an active frequency. I'm not really sure why, but it's something down deep within their body that we got to do this. Well, anyway, Robert, try one more time with your radio.
I'm sorry. I have a Yaesu 1200.
All right, 1200. Roger. And tell me, give me about 10 seconds on your antenna. Let me hear your audio.
Okay, I have a regular-sized G5RV. It's right at 40 feet tall. It's oriented to the north and south. I'm feeding it with about 110 feet of times microwave LMR 400. That goes into my
Frequencies in use, please.
GAT1000 Pro 2. I'm running an AL811H, and I'm getting about 500 watts out of it now.
Yes, sir. Well, let me just tell you, your radio has a beautiful setup. Your dynamic range is 3 dB, which means your average percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%, just excellent. And the EQ curve is very intelligible. Roger?
Well, I've spent some time setting up, that it has that parametric microphone equalizer on this, and I'm no genius about it, but I read a little bit and I listened to myself. I hate listening to myself, by the way. And I think I got it where, nobody's ever asked me, what planet I'm from.
Yeah, I have run across a few folks like that. They actually sound like they're trying to make contact with ants on the moon.
That's right. See, there is life other than here on Earth. I knew it.
Yes, and unfortunately, they know we're here and they're hungry. So we had best be very careful. Well, Jim, Robert, I'm sorry, your radio is just as beautiful, and I think it's just perfect if you want to hear it. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 3/12/21, it will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
All right. Thank you so very much. I hope you have a good weekend. It's nice and warm here, and it's supposed to rain a little bit, but other than that, I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I hope to talk to you again sometime. This is Robert, K5VGV 73.
Robert, just a way of clarification, it's Kilo 5 Zulu Bravo, Roger?
That is absolutely correct, sir.
Thank you so much. You have a good day, 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Good
W5ATK.
There's a station W5, I believe. If you will come back phonetically slowly with your call sign again.
Roger, Whiskey 5, Alpha Tango Kilo.
Alpha Tango Kilo, Roger, Roger. And the name is?
The name is Art, Alpha Romeo Tango, and the QTH is Enterprise, Alabama. Just South Alabama, just above the Florida Panhandle. Roger?
Roger, Art. And what radio are you running, sir?
Right now I'm on the IC 7800.
Roger. Now, I just know there was a drastic difference in your EQ from the time you gave me the call sign to when you came back with your name. It didn't sound like almost the same person. I'm not really sure what that was, whether it was just condition. Probably was conditions. If you would be interested in, you could give me maybe about 10 seconds and describe your antenna system, and I can hear your audio.
Roger, Roger. Sure. Well, right now I'm on my NFED. I usually use double bazooka for 40, but I'm on my NFED right now. And the amp is an AL80B, and about 800, 900 watts. The microphone is an RE320, and I do use the W2IHY 8-band equalizer. I just got this radio, still tweaking just a little bit, but I just ran across you here because you were so loud on the band scope. Thought I'd listen in, and sure enough, it's a good thing. So maybe you could tell me how the audio sounds. Over.
Well, Art, your EQ sounds very nice. You're full banded from one end to the other, activity down to 25 cycles. The thing you've got to remember, though, when you're that broad and you have that much in the bottom end, you want to be sure that you always have an abundance in the top end to keep your syllabics copyable. Because if you were to Mother Nature loves to take a slice off the top end of the frequency response. When she starts phasing, she starts at the top, and that top end starts rolling out, and gosh, all of a sudden you're left nothing but the bottom end. So I usually try to overemphasize the top just a tad to be sure that there is content to balance with the bottom, even though I may be in a phase cancellation mode, courtesy of Mother Nature. So I would say that if you were to add maybe a couple of clicks more top-end EQ, probably around 3K, 2.5K, in that area, about +2 from where you are, that would ensure you having a more top-end available to balance with the bottom, even in a phase cancellation situation.
Okay, I'll try that. I just added a little more, and if you would indulge me one more time. I don't use compression, but I've tried, and I got okay comments, but may I turn the compression on, and you could let me know.
Yes, sir. All right. I still have that guy that finds it necessary to tune up on an active frequency. But what we do suggest is that you do operate your compressor, but only at a 3. It's a token amount. It's something you will never hear operating, but it's something that helps as far as, what we're looking for is a 3 dB dynamic range at the end of our generic setup. The beginning of our setup starts with the compressor engaged, but only at a 3. Roger?
Okay, let me engage it now, and you can tell me. I just put the compression on wide. And did it make a big difference in the audio? Over.
I'll tell you what, why don't you do this? Why don't you give me a 10 count, and at 5, why don't you, let's start with it off. Start with your compressor off and a 10 count, and at 5, can you engage the compressor as you count?
Okay, roger that.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
3.
Sounds like deliberate, well, never mind.
8, 9, 10.
Sorry, Art, let's do it one more time for the Gipper. We had a little problem there. Try it one more time, please, sir.
Roger. 1. This is off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Roger, I like it on. I like it at a 3. The other part of our generic setup procedure is after you get that compressor engaged at a 3, move to your AOC with mic gain in hand and adjust your AOC to read mid-scale to 2/3 by speaking rather quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so you can get the meter up to see where it is to adjust it. But anyway, adjust your AOC for mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Okay, stand by. Let me get my meter on ALC. One moment. Okay, I'm on ALC, and let's see. I'm gonna get a little hard to sing right now. Stand by. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
You want to try that again? Mid-scale to 2/3. I'm not sure if you're there. Are you there?
No, well, I got my gain all the way up. My meter's not deflecting like it should on the ALC on the radio. I'm not sure why. Stand by. Well, beside that, how does it sound with the compression on right now?
It looks like you're achieving a 3 dB dynamic range. You know, what we're trying to do is the average transmitter, unprocessed audio transmitter, is running a 10 dB dynamic range, which means the average percent of peak modulation is about 30%. We're talking average percent of peak modulation for the unprocessed audio transmitter. So what we want to do through just a slight amount of compression and then the ALC at the mid-scale to 2/3 position, we can achieve a 3 dB dynamic range, which means the average percent of peak modulation moves up to 80 to 85%. Roger?
Okay, I will work on that. I just wanted to get your personal opinion of how the audio is sounding.
Yes, sir. Now, when you first started, you were mid-scale. You were very good all the way across the band. You had a large content down at the bottom, not excessive, but it was the kind of a thing where if you did lose the top through phase angle cancellation, you would be pretty bassy. So that's why the only reason I was suggesting a little more top-end EQ. Roger.
Okay, but how does it sound to you now, regardless of the condition? Just right now, how does it sound to you?
Sounds good to me. Totally understandable and a good curve. Roger?
Okay, now it's the compression off. The compression's off. How do I sound to you now as compared to just before?
All right. To me, it sounds, I'm looking at your audio on a view meter that's tied to my receiver, and I can see your peak excursions now. You're not as full as you were when you were just running that compressor only at a 3. It's amazing what that will do as far as helping your signal. Just a token amount, a third. I guess that a 3 would be a third of the capability of the compressor. So it's not anything that will ever suck up between your words, and that's the most annoying thing I have ever heard is a compressor gone crazy. And somebody think that they can put it on a 10 and it's going to fatten them up more than a 4, or it's just erroneous, because a compressor, by and large, is slow attack and medium fast release time, and so because of that attack time, you're not going to improve things by getting a more drastic compression curve. So I found 3 usually works about best. You never hear it, but it does help a bunch. Roger?
Okay. Well, regardless of what the scope says, I have the compressor off now, and just wanted to still get your personal opinion by just your ears how it sounds.
Roger. Not as full, frankly, as I'm just listening to it. Close my eyes, not looking at the peaks or anything. It's just not as full sounding as with the compressor on, because that is restricting your bandpass, and therefore what we call fattening your audio signal up just a tad, and that usually results in more of a bottom end fattening process. Obviously a compressor is sucking up whatever's in the chain, but it usually cumes up. There's more bottom end in the chain than high frequencies. Roger?
Okay, now if you close your eyes again, and I have the compressor on this time, and you're saying this sounds more full as far as how you perceive it right now, just from your hearing.
Yeah, but the thing is getting that ALC in there. What I'm looking for is a 3 dB dynamic range, and when I look at my VU meter, I set your voice for 0 level, your peaks for 0 level, and at 50 to mid-scale to 2/3. Usually, if the radio has a very good limiter, there will be no blow-by. In other words, each peak will come back to 0 level where I had set the first peak, and it just hangs there, But when you get to larger dynamic ranges, like on down to 5, 6, 7, you start having blow-bys from where you would set for a 0 level. Roger?
Okay, well, I'll work on that. But just in general, does this sound better than the compressor off?
It's really so token amount. Like I say, it's only a 3. Give me just out of curiosity, give me a dead key for about 3 seconds and let me hear something.
Okay.
Alrighty, I'm assuming you did that. Yeah, there was no. That 3 is just fine as far as no suck up. So I would just leave it at 3 and consider it, helping. And also important, I think, is the way you work that microphone and be very deliberate about the way you address the microphone consistently, because as you turn away or whatever. Sometimes we play a game about looking at the power output meter as you speak, and knowing that your voice can control the reading on your power output meter. And when you do a turn away or something, the meter falls off, and you become very aware of the fact that how much you control what your audio level is by watching that meter. Roger?
Well, thank you for the help. I much appreciate it. I'm sure there are others waiting to get your input. So 7-3, and God bless. Thank you. And do you get on here often?
We do every Friday from 3:30 till 5. We record and then post it up on YouTube. And if you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 3/12/21, that will take you to this recording. Roger?
Okay, very good. I'm going to put this on my calendar. I usually do 0.188 for the hole in the wall net, my friend Mal down in Florida, NC4L. So maybe I'll hear you on there some evening. 7-3s again, God bless, and thank you for the help.
Roger, did you say you're running an RE mic on there?
Roger, an RE 320.
All right. And you've looked at that on your transmit spectrum analyzer?
I don't have that. Are you talking about on the 7800?
I'm not familiar with your radio. I was just thinking that a lot of new radios do have spectrum analyzers and for being able to look at their transmit audio.
Well, this is a new, but it does have that feature. I haven't looked at it yet, but I will now that I have your recommendation. Roger?
Yes, sir. And I have a word that I use a lot for just quickly checking out something. The word is SACE. And what that does, it gives you mid-range to a top end. And you can look at your mid-range balance to top end just with that one word. Roger?
Okay, very good tip. Thank you again, my friend.
Yes, sir. 73 that way, sir. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday, and we'll compare notes and see what's going on, provided the creeks don't rise. And around here, boy, I tell you, it's been raining. I'm working on a project in the back with Noah. if it keeps raining, we're going to be having to use that item. Anyway, 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Bravo Charlie.
There is a Victor Alpha 3 station. Come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign.
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Bravo Charlie. Name here is DJ, Donald John. I go by DJ. And I'm in Lambton Shores, Southern Ontario, Canada. Just a half a mile walk overlooking the banks of Lake Huron.
Oh, Roger. Now, that's got to be at least 1,200, 1,500 watts?
No, I run 500 watts. It's my ACOM 1010, but I have a the Mosley Signal Master S33 as a 40-2017 tri-bander, 3-element beam, and it's pointed at you, Jim.
Oh, wow. There got to be something there because you're just beautiful. They're probably about 15 over. Your audio curve is just excellent. I see activity down to 25 cycles, Roger.
Well, thank you. Yeah, N4QNT Art helped me with the Anon here, get everything set up. So, I heard you, and I love your voice. I was checking out your YouTube channel there too. So, my problem is I have a face for radio. So, my voice isn't even that great for radio, but I do have a face for radio.
Well, I tell you, you're occupying about as much space on the band as you possibly can legally. I mean, your audio curve is from one end of the spectrum to the other that I'm looking at, the spectrum analyzer. And let me just say this. I'll describe my spectrum analyzer in that it has 3 white marks on the spectrum analyzer on set. The white mark to the left denotes 100 cycles. And then the first mark as you move to the right is 1 KC, then there is a black area, which is 2 KC, and then there's another white mark, which is 4 KC. And so if you would like to, that's a little FYI there, if you decide to check out your audio on our YouTube site, go to YouTube and do a call it a search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 3/12/21, will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Okay, I just punched that in right now there, Jim, and well, that was 2 hours. So that will, let me when will that be up then and running?
Give us a couple of days. It usually takes, we're a lot sooner than that, but outside a couple of days, Roger.
Oh, excellent. Okay, thank you, Jim. I got to get supper going here, so I just want to say hi to you and just see what if my audio was up to par, because, like I said, we spent quite a bit of time getting the EQ set and everything else on the Anon here, and I am running an RE27ND as well. And if you get a chance, check out my QRZ page. Lots of pictures there I think you might enjoy and appreciate the simple shack setup here.
Roger, DJ, and what's your location again, please?
I am in Lambton Shores, Southern Ontario. It's about an hour drive to London, Ontario, and about a half-hour drive to Sarnia, where the twin Blue Water bridges cross the St. Clair River over to Port Huron, Michigan. And as the crow flies, about 90 miles northeast of Detroit.
Roger that. And what's your radio?
Well, it's the Anon, Apache Labs Anon 7000 DLE Mark II.
Roger that. Just beautiful. I think you'll really like the recording. Roger.
Well, thank you, sir. I've been getting good comments as well, and I have the pure signal running as well. So the amplifier is the ACOM 1010, and it's a 700 watt amp, but I only run about 500 watts. So seems to work quite well. And this beam, this Mosley 40 meter 2017, it is fantastic. I'm really happy with it. So spent a little time making the tower, 48-foot self-support Delhi tower. That's was given to me. It's about a $2,100 tower I got given to me. It's about 30 years old, and made it into a fold-over. So there's pictures of how we did that as well. So anyhow, thanks, Jim. I'll let others make contact with you there and get their audio reports as well. So you have a good evening. KC9VKV, Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Bravo Charlie.
Roger, sir. 73 that way, sir. You have a great afternoon. beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Try it again. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
K7CBR.
There's a K7 station. K7 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Yeah, my call sign, good afternoon to you. My name is Joe. Call sign is Kilowatt 7, Charlie Bravo Romeo. Go ahead.
Charlie Bravo Romeo, Roger. And what's your location, Joe?
I'm operating, if you look me up on the ULS, I am licensed in the state of Idaho, but currently operating in the state of Georgia. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. And what radio?
I'm on a Drake C-Line. Go ahead.
A Drake what?
C-Line. R4C T4XC. Go ahead.
Give me that slower. I have a couple of Drakes myself. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's a Drake C-Line, R4C and T4XC. Go ahead.
Is that a 3 package?
A what?
3 units, power supply, receiver, transmitter, or is it all one thing?
Oh, yeah, it's 3 units. You might be thinking of a TR4C. That's all in one unit with a speaker, but this is 3 separate units. Yeah, go ahead.
Roger. Yes, Drake never ceases to amaze me about how much weight that they were willing to throw at a radio. Can you imagine trying to use that? Have you ever used that in a remote, like outdoor situation?
No, I haven't, but I know a lot of people have. I wouldn't be in a rush to do it, but, I've had heavier things. Go ahead.
Well, Roger. Okay. Audio sounds really nice. What mic are you using on it?
I'm using an static G77, Golf 77. Go ahead.
All right. The only thing I could say would be that maybe you might want to crank in just a little more top end for intelligibility. It doesn't have much top end. I would say maybe +2 at around 2.5K. Does that have a EQ? And if so, is it an 8-band or a 3-band or what? No. It's nothing like that. This is a microphone built in about 1965. And, of course, the radio's from about 1973, 74. There's no equalization, no nothing. I've made a couple of changes to the microphone preamp, but there are no tone controls. There's no compression. There's nothing to diddle with other than a mic gain. Go ahead. Well, no, that's not true. You have an ALC. Have you checked your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3? Or no, you have a blinking light. Is that a Roger?
No, there's no blinking light. There is a little bit of ALC. I am monitoring my transmit pattern, and I am just approaching flat topping, just before flat topping with this. And I've got everything. I've got the transmitter peaked and tuned as it's pedaling about as hard as it'll go and still run clean. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, and it is running very clean, very nice. It's amazing that you have accepted that as your challenge. A lot of folks want to move along and plug and play, more or less, and that radio takes a little bit more time and effort to keep it going. Now, do you have any problems with frequency drift? I have got the TR4C, and did not like 10 meters very well. It was pretty much a constant game of touch-up. I tried various things. I tried to heat the area, then the oscillator, then I tried to cool the oscillator. I never could come up with something that kept it absolutely stable. Roger?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was easily solved. It's because you had the right idea. You were just looking in the wrong place. What I do is I drive the transmitter with a DDS oscillator with 1 part per million TCXO in it, and then that is driving the transmitter in the fixed frequency mode, so I'm not subject to the PTO drift. And then I drive the receiver off, I slave the receiver off the transmitter, so there is no drift. From cold start to hours and hours, it will move about 10 cycles.
Oh, Roger, Roger. So essentially you've cranked in a new radio underneath the old radio.
Well, not really. Only the master oscillator. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, that was the major downfall that I found with the TR4C, TR4. It just, it was constant touch-up. But I enjoyed the radio immensely. And, the way they put the output of that radio, I think the manual was calling for 230-something watts out. They were using 3 sweep tubes, Roger?
Yeah, I think they would do, on that TR4C, I think they do about 160 or so out there, or 180 maybe, I'm not sure. I've never owned one of those. This is the T4XC, and it just has two of the output tubes in it. I've had this thing a lot of years. I've done a lot to it. The receiver has a 2.8 kilohertz sideband filter. The transmitter, I'm still stuck with a 2.4 kilohertz transmit filter for upper and lower sideband. That's why I had to laugh when you said, can you dial in a little more around 2.5, 2.6? I think not. That would not be easy to do because the filter is pretty tight. It's an 8-pole filter. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger. But then again, you could always go to a condenser microphone with an outboard preamp, followed by a 10-band EQ, and just tailor that to perfection, Roger.
Well, to an extent, you can only shove so much through that 8-pole filter, and then that would not be easy to do, because the 6 dB points of the filter are, quite stout at 2.4, 2.5 kilohertz, so the drop-off is very steep.
Yes, sir. Just, it depends on how hard you push it. You can push the EQ just slightly past the limiting of the filter and achieve actually wherever you want it to go, just so long as you're pushing harder than it's pulling down.
Well, there is some truth to that. But anyway, I've not tried that, and I'm just going to keep it simple, plug the microphone into the back of the transmitter, no audio equalization, no outboard processing, just keep things clean and simple. Go ahead. I just wanted to key up, transmit, see what you thought, and ask you one more question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Can you explain to me your audio phase canceling statements you throw around a lot?
Okay, all of our transmissions move by skywave. That is that they're nothing's moving ground wave relatively. It's all skywave. And sometimes there are reflection points that occur past the primary reflection point. And what happens is they are delayed at a certain time difference from the original signal. So when they bounce back, they collide at the receive point with the majority of the signal, which is dominant. But as the majority of the signal starts to fade, the secondary reflections start to have control, and they are slightly out of phase with the original signal. And when you have that, it starts at the top of the audio spectrum. It starts phase cancellation at the top of the audio spectrum, and as it continues and the time frame changes, then the frequency cancellation gets deeper into the audio spectrum. Sometimes you can really hear it. It's kind of like there was a record, Tony Fisher, West of the Wall or something, where you could hear this skewing of the audio, and that's phase cancellation.
Okay, yeah, I heard you say that a couple times. I just wondered what you were talking about. That's going to be hard to perceive at narrow bandwidths for sure, but the hi-fi single sideband guys might be able to notice that more than anything. Okay, well, listen, I'll take a standby, and I just wanted to see, I just wanted to touch base with you for a minute and see what you thought of this stock radio. You don't get them out here, and guys are kind of hopped up on the hi-fi, so I thought I'd just kind of come back down to earth with a straight setup. Anyway, you're sounding good over here, though. Seriously, really excellent sounding audio at my 2.8 bandwidth, so I appreciate it. And this is station K7CBR, and I'll be listening. Have a good day, okay?
Roger, Joe. And if you would like to hear that transmitter, if you go to YouTube and do a call data search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 3/12/21, and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. Roger?
Okay, I may do that. I appreciate it. There is a lot of traffic in here coming from South America, by the way. I don't know if you can perceive that or not, but it is tough here. Anyway, have a good one. K7CBR out. Appreciate it.
Roger, Joe, 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shot. I only have about 9 minutes left, so if anybody wants to get a radio check, go ahead.
Anybody wants to get a radio check.
I think there was a Victor Echo 3. This is KC9VKV. If that's true, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Victor Echo 3, November Romeo Tango.
November Romeo Tango. This is KC9VKV. What's the name there?
My name is Chris, Charlie Hotel Romeo India Sierra in Aurora, Ontario.
Okay, and that's Ontario, Roger?
Roger.
And what radio are you running?
Telegraph K3.
Okay, a K3, and would you be interested in our setup procedure?
Yeah, absolutely. Haven't done that for 8 years.
Okay, it starts with your compressor. We have a very generic setup procedure, so we can do all transmitters since we've kept it generically feasible. And it starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does what it needs to do. So engage your compressor at a 3, Roger?
Roger, that's speed power by the car.
Okay, then once you get your compressor in there at a 3, move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can see where the ALC meter is moving. Adjust it with your mic gain to where your ALC meter is reflecting 50 to 75%, mid-scale to 2/3 actually.
345, 54321, 14325, 54321, 14325, 54321. Yes, it really is dependent on how loud I speak. 12345, 54321. That looks about right.
Roger, I kind of faded out on my local antenna, so I had to move to the Arlington, Virginia SDR. It's currently got some QRM on it, but at least I can hear you fairly well. So once you do that, then why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger?
Okay, well, my antenna system is very weak. I have a G5RV. It's surprising it works. It's only up about 25 feet. So I have to kind of do weird things with the matching section to make it work. But the surprising thing is that actually tunes on 80, 40, and 20 reasonably well.
Roger, Chris. Now, let me just say this. I often recommend folks use a foam windscreen, and I think you would be a good candidate for a foam windscreen over that mic, because sometimes your plosives were as loud as your actual words. And what a foam windscreen does, it just takes all of the BS out of the audio and just leaves the words, Roger?
Okay, well, I'm going to move it out of the path of my mouth. I had it there because I tried calling you a few times and never got through. So maybe if I do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yeah, a little more my game. But it does have a foam windscreen. How does it sound now?
Oh, it does have a foam windscreen, Roger. Well, you should run that mic about 4 inches away, or 4 to 5 inches. I would not run it closer than that, Roger. 4 to 5 inches. Closer than that, Roger. 4 to 5 inches.
Okay, now 4 to 5 inches.
Okay, he's not on Pacific. November 1, Norway.
4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have it up all the way. Well, if I speak loudly enough.
Very earlier, but anyway, guys, November 1.
Roger, Chris. Well, you know, I'm getting QRM as loud as you are, so it's hard to hear you clearly. And that's the whole name of the game as far as, evaluation of somebody's audio. And I would love to hear you a lot clearer than what I'm hearing you. But, all things being equal, we are having to live with whatever the band has to offer. And right now, it's offering many things on this frequency other than you and me, unfortunately, Roger.
Unfortunately, Roger. KCU 73. QSO-VLOG, QADX, Pacific area,
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, Chris, do you still have a copy?
Kilo Victor, Chris, do you still have a copy?
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, Chris, do you still have a copy?
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, Chris, do you still have a copy?
Yeah, too much traffic, Chris, so let me say 73 to you, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and maybe we can get together next Friday. Maybe conditions might be a little more simplistic, and we can enjoy the band a little bit better, and I can hear you cleaner and clearer to advise on your EQ pattern. Just too much traffic now. My spectrum analyzer is reading mostly noise, so it's of no help. And like I say, you're actually sometimes below my noise level, or my QRM level. Let me just put it that way. So 73, Chris. We'll catch later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. We've got time for one more. If you might have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you might have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Zero, Mike Oscar.
There's a Kilo Zero station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, how you doing, Jim? This is Manny. We spoke like 2 weeks ago. This is Kilo Zero, MO, Mike Oscar.
Roger Manny, what's going on, sir?
Oh, Mike Oscar. Roger Manny, what's going on, sir?
Here, I just want to say hi, and I'm just trying like a new setup here, a new transmit profile. So I wonder how you hear me.
Manny, I'm looking at your audio. I'm copying you on the Georgia SDR. There's too much traffic up in your area, so I pulled back to Georgia, and I've got about a 10 over, 12 over on you. Your dB is about 3 dB dynamic range, exactly where you want to be as far as your transmit fullness, Roger.
Your transmit fullness, Roger.
Exactly, my friend. This is how I have it right now. So you are 9 plus 10 here in Florida, direct hit. So you're definitely making the trip, Jim. Zero.
Roger Manny, so you're down in Florida. That's why Georgia's working out so well.
Roger Manny, so you're down in Florida. That's why Georgia's working out so well.
Exactly. I can hear you well, some fading, but I can hear you well. Sometimes the signal goes down, and then right now it's up like 9 plus 10. Very good, Jim. Very good audio, as always.
Roger Manny, now, did I hear some echo in there? Did I hear a little reverb on the audio?
Hear some echo in there? Did I hear a little reverb on the audio?
Yes, indeed, it's an effect I am using. So I'm gonna turn it off. I have it on right now. Hello, okay. Now it's off. So, how you like it?
I like it on. I thought it was very tasteful, Roger.
I like it on. I thought it was very tasteful, Roger.
Okay, so I leave it on then. So I try to, yeah, it's on right now. So I try to adjust it a little bit slightly, you know, a slight reverb, so to enhance the sound.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Now, are you going in the mic input, or are you coming around from the back of the radio?
The mic input, or are you coming around from the back of the radio?
Yeah, neither of that, because I'm using an software-defined radio. What I'm using is an audio interface, so I'm coming through the USB input on the computer. So the ANAN is connected to the network, and the computer, of course, to the network, the same network. So it's basically an audio interface, and I'm using an ASIO driver, you know, so very low latency. So I can speak and monitor myself at the same time. Over.
Oh, yes, sir. Now, you're coming in at USB, line level USB level. And what was the radio again?
Well, USB level. And what was the radio again?
It's an ANAN 100B, ANAN 100, B as Bravo, over.
Roger. Well, I think you've got good control over that, Manny. It really sounds nice, Roger.
You've got good control over that, Manny. It really sounds nice, Roger.
Thank you. You know, I have a different audio profile that I would like to try with you. This one is through a DAW, digital audio workstation that you're using from music production, you know. I'm using Ableton Live right now. I don't know if you know that DAW, over.
I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. You want to try an experiment? What is the experiment again?
You want to try an experiment? What is the experiment again?
I'm just hearing the sound, so I'm using a flat profile, so this is my flat transmit profile. So how it sounds compared to the previous one, over?
Frankly, Manny, I've got somebody doing CQDX in there that is a real similar level, audio level as you. And so I can't hear you as clearly as I would like to be able to discern the difference between those two sounds. Roger, they're very similar. There was nothing majorly drastic one way or the other, Roger.
Similar. There was nothing majorly drastic one way or the other, Roger.
Yes, exactly. That's because it's kind of flat. So this one is different. This one is more emphasis on the highs and mids. How you hear me this way, over?
I'm copying, like I say, the same dynamic range. And as far as the EQ curve, as near as I can't hear your audio as clearly as I would like. Like I say, I've got somebody bird dogging you just right at almost the same level, and they're just consistently calling CQDX or whatever it is, Roger.
Consistently calling CQDX or whatever it is, Roger.
Yes. Stand by. We are on a QSO right now. Please stand by. QSO. Standby station from Italy. Okay, yes, I was trying different profile. Probably in another time we can try that team under better conditions, over.
Roger, now I would say that you might be just hitting your ALC just a tad hot. I'm showing you like about a dB and a half, 2 dB dynamic range as opposed to a 3 dB dynamic range. So it might mean that you might need to take your mic gain control and back off just a little bit to where you're running about 3 dB as opposed to the lesser dBs. Because what happens is when you get more fatter signal than 3 dB, it starts to blur. And an example of that would be if you were to go all the way to a half a dB dynamic range, like if somebody just were to reach up and just grab that volume and, and all the words are blur. They're no longer words, it's just a blur. So I have found that 3 dB represents a very nice dynamic range to be able to perceive each word, and it's not blurry, it's just very clear, clean.
Word, and it's not blurry, it's just very clear, clean.
Yes, no, I'm using the ALC about 2/3 of the way as you told me the other day. And the ALC doesn't go over 0 dB, so it's going there, probably it's around 2/3 of the way, over?
Yes, sir, yes, so 50% mid-scale to 2/3. That's my recommendation on the ALC setup. And that should give you a 3 dB dynamic range with an adjustment of mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Dynamic range with an adjustment of mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Yes, I know. I always keep an eye on that. With this software-defined radio, it's very easy to do, because you just adjust or calibrate the audio to 3 dB and then to the ALC and that's a transmit profile. So all the settings are set so I can record. About that, over? I've been worrying about that, over?
Roger, Manny. I just went around the horn on all of my SDRs, and due to the fact that this is skip, I can't really isolate your Georgia SDR is no longer working. But anyway, I think you're really close. I would not change a thing for right now, and I couldn't advise more because I can't hear you that clear. But if you would be interested, you can hear your audio if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date 3/12/21. That will take you directly to this recording. If you just want to hear other QSOs, if you just do a call letter search KC9VKV, that would take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're now featuring over 1,500 recorded QSO-VLOGs. So back to you, Manny. I'm about ready to wrap up here. I'm turning into a pumpkin, Roger.
I'm turning into a pumpkin, Roger.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, Jim, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity and to talk to you a little bit. It's always nice. 73 from KC Remo.
Roger, Manny, 73 that way, sir. Good sound. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. We've enjoyed it since 3:30. We record live till 5. If you participated, want to hear what your radio sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 3/12/21, that will take you directly to this recording. So for now, we're going to be returning this frequency back to a normal, average, everyday amateur use for this frequency. We got to get out of here. I'm tired. This is KC9VKV returning the frequency to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV clear.
Amateur radio use. KC9VKV clear.
Hey, one more. Just wanted to. This is Art again. W5ATK.
Roger, Art, go.
Roger, Art, go.
Just real quick, this is the 5000. Does it sound okay?
Give me 10 on your antenna system. Let me hear you.
Give me 10 on your antenna system. Let me hear you.
Roger. W5ATK. This is the FTDX 5000.
Excellent. Get the Gorilla Tape out, seal it down.
Excellent. Get the Gorilla Tape out, seal it down.
Say that again. I'm sorry. You say the sound's good?
Yes, sir. Sounds perfect. I said get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Roger.
Perfect. I said get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Roger.
Okay, yeah, the 5000's always been a good radio. Still working on the IC 7800. 73, thanks again. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Yes, your dynamic range is just perfect there, around 2.5 to 3. Your spectrum is audio spectrum is very intelligible. And again, you can hear it by going to YouTube and do the call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 3/12/21. This is KC9VKV returning the frequency to normal amateur radio use, KC9VKV clear.
To normal amateur radio use, KC9VKV clear.